So the latest in the case of Khashoggi, the interesting case of Khashoggi, at least I think it's interesting. I'm a mob boss who's sitting on billions of dollars of oil wealth, who has been associated with the United States going back to the FDR era, where the last Democratic president was just as obsequious as this president, even though they try to whitewash that last president's actions with this particular murderous theocratic regime in order to use that as a pivot point and a tip of spear attack on this current administration. I would agree with you that Donald Trump is completely obsequious to the Saudi crown. But let's be honest, so was the last one. It was the last one that greenlit that war, even though it is the current one that continues in the prosecution of that war. And even though Trump has come out saying, okay, we're no longer going to fund, do the air maneuvers in order to fuel their planes, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump had already given them the capability to refuel their own airplanes. So, yes, let's just be honest with where we're coming from with this. Now, that said, for whatever reason, despite the fact that this president or the previous president had supported the murdering of Yemenis by the truckloads, we're talking about like 100,000 Yemenis killed, with millions potentially being starved, not to mention the weaponization of disease in order to essentially push out what the Houthi rebels, who they continuously say is aligned with Iran. Nothing has been shown to show that they've been allied with Iran, outside of some basic support that they may have received. So CIA has reached a conclusion. Their conclusion is that Khashoggi was murdered by the Crown Prince. Oh, I know you're shocked by this. But at this point, people understood that the person who was most likely going to order something like this was Mohammed bin Salman. That, the underlings are not necessarily going to do something that's brazen and over the top where you're murdering a Washington Post journalist. I agree with people when they kind of make this point that, well, of all these Yemenis that have been murdered, how does this one guy elicit such support and outrage? I agree with them. And nevertheless, it is. You can see the face of that one guy. That one guy has powerful associates. And it is somewhat brazen to murder somebody who's living in the United States in a Turkish consulate. Yeah, it creates waves. Let's look at the story. I'm not going to keep this one long because there's not much here. But CIA, in their assessment, Salman ordered the hit. Salman. I keep calling the guy Salam. I don't know why. CIA has concluded that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered the assassination of journalist Jamarl Khashoggi in Istanbul last month, contradicting the Saudi government's claims that he was not involved in the killing, according to people familiar with the matter. Come on! Come on! I mean, look, they found somebody who was the fall guy. Just like when Nixon was in office and all of these people started taking a bullet for Nixon after over and over and over. Well, in this particular case, you have a theocrat who's in charge of a governmental apparatus, and he's essentially having his underlings to take the hit for something that he did. Yes. Why would you believe the case that's coming out of them? Why would you believe their investigation? These are the guys that murdered him, and these are also the guys that lied relentlessly after the murder. The CIA assessment, is which officials have said that they have high confidence, is the definitive to date linking Mohammed to the operation and complicates the Trump administration's efforts to preserve the relationship. No, it doesn't. With his close ally. A team from 15 Saudi agents flew to Istanbul government on an aircraft in October and killed Khashoggi inside the Saudi consulate, where he had gone to pick up documents that he needed for his marriage. In reaching this conclusion, the CIA examined, this is the new part, the CIA examined multiple sources of intelligence, including a phone call that the prince's brother Khalid bin Salman, the Saudi's ambassador to the United States, had with Khashoggi. According to people familiar with the matter, who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the intelligence, Khalid told Khashoggi, a contributing columnist at the Washington Post — yes, we get it, we know he's a contributing columnist — that he should go to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to retrieve the documents that gave assurances that he would be safe to do so. It is not clear if Khalid knew that Khashoggi would be killed, but he made the call at his brother's direction, according to people familiar with the call, which was intercepted by U.S. intelligence. Turkey had the place bugged and shared that information with essentially the world leaders. Justin Trudeau came out and honestly admitted that he had heard the murder and the torture of Khashoggi. Pompeo lied, saying that he didn't hear it, in which case the Turks said they had given it to him, and then they backpedaled on the story when Pompeo lied about it. This is gruesome. This is entirely gruesome. But the United States knew about it because the United States had intercepted the call. The Brits knew about it in advance also, weeks in advance, if I'm not mistaken, and even tried to talk them out of doing this. And this is a fascinating story to me. I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to keep this one long because I've done this story multiple times, so you already know the details surrounding it. But CIA intercepted the phone call. The CIA intercepted the phone call from Salman's brother, Mohammed, MBS's brother, which is giving them an insinuation that, or insinuates that he was told to give this call and he was given assurances of his safety. Those assurances proved to be dramatically wrong. He was attacked as soon as he walked into the embassy. There's one more part to this that I find amazing. So listen to this part. The CIA's conclusion about MBS's role has also been based on the agency assessment of the prince as the country's de facto ruler who oversees even minor affairs of the kingdom. The accepted position is that there is no way this happened without him being aware or being involved, said U.S. officials familiar with the CIA's conclusion. The CIA analysts believe he has a firm grip on power and is not in danger of losing his status as heir to the throne despite Khashoggi's scandal. The general agreement is that he is likely to survive, the official said, adding that Mohammed bin his role as future Saudi king is taken for granted, kind of like Hillary Clinton's, I imagine. The CIA was looking for his body. That's the part that I found amazing. The president also asked the CIA and the State Department officials where Khashoggi's body is and has grown frustrated that they have not been able to provide an answer. The CIA does not know the location of Khashoggi's remains, according to the people familiar with the agency. You know, the wild part about this is, what did the Saudis think? Are they that incompetent? A guy walks into an embassy and vanishes. And they don't believe that anybody is going to put two and two together and said, hey, if he walked into your embassy and he's criticized you and then he vanished off the face of the earth, then maybe you have something to do with the fact that that guy just vanished off the face of the earth. Mind you, while the woman that he loved and was going to marry stood outside and waited. The story is amazing. The brazenness in which they pulled this off is profound. So I'll end this here. I'll upload it. I don't know how many gigs I have, and I don't want the thing to end on a story like this since I've already done this story before. So thank you all. You have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and you can always support through Patreon or PayPal. Thanks all.